afternoon and welcome on this beautiful sunny May day. I'm Cindy Farson, the director of the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging, and we are so proud to once again host the Central Ohio Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. In fact, this is the 44th annual Hall of Fame. And so today, again, we get to recognize some very special and accomplished people. When this Hall of Fame started 44 years ago, aging programs didn't get much notice. I remember back then, you would talk about all of America looking like Florida with 20% of the people over the age of 60, and people just kind of like, really? I don't think they believed us. But then maybe 25 years ago, people believed it, and this fact was everywhere, about the silver tsunami that was going to come and wash over us. That's not what we talk about now. Now we talk about the longevity era, when people are expected to live longer lives and live them well, healthier, and contributing for a very long time. Some year the theme for the Older Americans Month is better than others. I like this year's. It's Connect, Create, and Contribute. We have a great group of folks this year that do these three things and have been doing them for a long time, especially contribute. A doctor working with the homeless, a longtime county commissioner, broadcasters, people who feed their neighbors because it's a great thing to do, repair homes, the list just goes on. So I hope you've seen their stories and pictures on our Facebook page, and we all get a chance to recognize them today. So next I'd like to introduce Councilmember Elizabeth Brown. She's here representing the City of Columbus today in Recreation and Parks. We are very fortunate to have this talented council member liaisoning with Columbus Recreation and Parks. She also knows about aging issues. Her mother has been in aging, a colleague of mine for many, many years. So we are so proud to have her with us here today, Councilmember Elizabeth Brown.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to move this down a little bit because Cindy's taller than I am. Here we go. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so happy to be here to help celebrate this year's inductees into the Central Ohio Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the inductees and to past year's inductees. As Cindy said, I grew up knowing and caring about issues for older adults. My mother, I think her first job out of college, technically, was working for Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging. She has her master's in social work with a focus on gerontology. So it was always something that we knew about and learned about in my household. And you know, my mom, that's how she lives, and she still works with the AAAs today. So this ceremony and the inductees are reminders of why it is so important for Columbus to be responsive to the needs of all of our residents. All of our residents contribute to the success of our city and the vibrancy of our community. One component of the city's efforts to support older adults is through Recreation and Parks work with the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging. I'm the chair of our Recreation and Parks Committee. The Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging, their work is critical to the vibrancy of Columbus, and I know to all of Central Ohio, and I know there are people here from counties across Central Ohio. I am a mother of two young children, 3 years old and 1 year old, and we talk a lot, I think, in our culture about how it takes a village to raise young kids. I'm sure many people in this room know that from firsthand experience. But what I've always felt as well is that it takes a village to keep families safe and healthy and strong all through the continuum of life. It takes a village to raise children. It takes a village to care for our older adults. And it takes a village to keep our city healthy and strong for all residents. I believe that, and one of the things that we did when I first got elected to city council was pass a paid family leave policy for our city employees. When people talk about paid family leave, often they think about maternity leave and paternity leave. But we know that right now in Ohio, across our state, 1.4 million Ohioans are caring for a sick or an aging loved one. in their lives, 1.4 million. So when we talk about paid family leave, we don't just mean maternity leave and paternity leave. We mean giving families and giving working people the flexibility to be able to care for those in their lives who need it, no matter what stage of life they're in. So our paid family leave policy for the city of Columbus included giving employees time off to care for sick or aging loved ones in their families. It was only the third program of its kind that passed through a municipality in the whole nation, and the first of its kind in the Midwest. We're very proud of that we can say we have a comprehensive paid family leave policy for our 9,000 employees at the city of Columbus. Our other major initiative that the city of Columbus supports is called Age Friendly Columbus. It's a collaboration of many community partners and residents with the goal of providing older adults with easy access to services, amenities, and opportunities. In 2016, with a year spent researching and assessing the needs of older adults in Columbus, followed by a year of strategic planning, we are now in the implementation phase of the strategic plan, and there is some very exciting work happening. From the launch of the newest village in the Hilltop, a co-op model where people pitch in to take care of one another and pay for services so that older adults can stay in their homes, to eviction prevention training, to the planned launch of the Nesterly platform, a room rental app similar to Airbnb, but with a focus on the guest agreeing to help around the house, to pilot programs with rideshare apps like Lyft to offer discounts for older adults. There is a lot of exciting work being done here in Columbus, but there is more work to be done. Today's inductees are an inspiration for what I know can be done through working to help others and improve our community. I know that each and every one of you is a role model in your community that many of us aspire to live up to. You're role models for your family members, you're role models for the people that you work with on a daily basis, and I thank you for your efforts and the impact you have made on Central Ohio. Next, I would like to introduce Dave Bibler, Chair of the COAAA Advisory Council and Director of the Licking County Aging Program. The Licking County Aging Program is the largest senior center in Licking County. The agency helps meet essential needs for older adults such as meals, health and home care, and social connections right in their own neighborhood. With no further ado, Dave.
Many of us in this room volunteer for a number of organizations in our communities, and I always feel pretty good about the volunteer work that I do in Licking County, but every year when I come to this event, I'm so humbled when I read the bios of each of the people who are being inducted into the Hall of Fame. The things that each of you do is just quite amazing, and it's considering the fact that a lot of this has been done in your golden years, but I also have learned from all my years of working at the Senior Center is to stay active, and obviously many of you have done that. So I would like to congratulate each of you on your induction today into the Central Ohio Senior Citizens Hall of Fame and wish you the best of luck. Thanks.
You see, Dave has a radio voice too. And now it's my great pleasure to welcome our Master of Ceremonies for today, Colleen Marshall. Our well-known anchorwoman from NBC4 has given her time to this event for many years, and our inductees are always excited to be introduced by her. She's an Emmy-winning journalist and co-anchor at NBC4 at 6 and 11. COAAA has been a sponsor for the NBC4 Alzheimer's Special for several years because she's put such a spotlight on this important issue by sharing her own family story. She hosts NBC4's The Spectrum on Sunday mornings and has won multiple journalism awards. She also practices family law, so she's a little bit busy, which is why we are so appreciative of her participating in the ceremony. Please welcome Colleen Marshall.
Good morning, everyone. I also have to put the microphone down. I am so happy to be with you once again for this this is one of my favorite events of the year because it lets me know that even though I'm aging, I'm still going to be getting it done in a few years from now. So now that I'm eligible for the senior citizens discount at Bob Evans, I like to know that people are still getting things done. We are going to honor 13 older adults today. They range in age from 65 to 81. We're going to recognize their exceptional contributions to Central Ohio communities as we induct them into the 44th Central Ohio Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. The inductees represent 8 Central Ohio counties: Delaware, Fairfield, Fayette, Franklin, Licking, Madison, Pickaway, and Union. Thanks to all of you for being with us today, and now we get to the fun part. Now, this is how this works. If you haven't been with us before, each of the inductees will be called to the stage, and they'll be accompanied by someone from their county, usually a county commissioner, who will join us center stage, and the county commissioner, the county representative, will say a few words about the inductee, and then if the inductee wants to say anything, they are certainly welcome to say something on their own behalf as well. I will read a little bit about them as they come to the stage so you can know why they're being honored here today. And we're going to begin with Diane Croy of Delaware County, being escorted to the stage by Jane Hawes, Communications Manager for the Delaware County Commissioners. Diane was nominated by Carrie Eisen of Ohio Health. Diane Croy volunteers her time at the Grady Memorial Hospital Emergency Room Department in Delaware. She serves a support system for the staff. She's always there with a smiling face, cheering on the staff, and she cares for them through good times and bad. She provides home-cooked meals for emergency room workers. She brings toys and games to children in the emergency room. She also runs specimens to the lab and gets visitors and patients anything they might need, from a warm blanket to a cup of coffee. She helps out with any type of task that is asked of her. Are you ready for this? Diane has contributed more than 23,500 volunteer hours during a 40-year span. Is that not incredible? She often volunteers 3 to 4 days a week and normally volunteers 5 or more hours during each day. So congratulations, well deserved for Diane Croy. And Jane?
She's involved with 2 of probably the most famous institutions in Delaware County. Grady Memorial Hospital has existed in one form or another for well over a century. My husband's an avid cyclist, so he's actually probably met Diane in the emergency room a few times. And we've had our children there as well. They are a wonderful institution. And the volunteers are who make that place run. It makes it a hometown experience to be there. And Diane, it's just, I don't know how you do all that cooking, and decorating.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, clearly. And she's also involved with the Strand Movie Theater in town, which is one of the 10 oldest still operating independent movie theaters in the country. She comes and helps out, you were saying, behind the concession stand. I help out there too. And I know that's not easy, serving popcorn and soda to the hungry masses there. So she's just done extraordinary work, and we are very proud to honor her and to share her with you. Thank you. And I neglected to mention also in Delaware we have the police academy, which she has been involved with, also cooking up meals to serve the folks there. So. Probably a lot of people have eaten your food. I don't know if the health department knows about that. But yeah.
They're still living.
Yeah. Very good. Well, I give you Diane.
I thank you very much, and I really enjoyed volunteering. I've always wanted a shirt that says, I enjoyed volunteering, but so far I haven't gotten none. But anyway, I will have to tell you something. I made a great big pot of baked spaghetti, and I mean, it was like it was real big. Anyway, I got on the table. I says, how in the heck I'm going to get that to the oven? So I thought, well, I got me a big towel, put it on the towel, and I drug it to the oven, and I got it in the oven. And I says, now it's baked. Now what I do? So I put the towel on the oven door, took the spaghetti out on the pan, and I put it on the floor, and I drug it to the door, and I took step by step to get it in the car. And after I got to the hospital, it was them to get it in. But they enjoyed it. And I want to say a big thank you for Carrie Eisen and Darren Plummer. They're the one that wrote this in. And Darren's the one who brought me down last month, and of course, he was a good guy to bring me down again today. And thank you, Darren and Carrie.
So Diane, do you ever cook for newsrooms? I'm just curious.
I do cookies, and then there's workers that say, "You go bring cookies tomorrow."
Thank you so much, and congratulations. Well deserved, Diane Croy. Now, you have to let me know if I mispronounce your name. I'm going to try to, is it Madel O'Neil? Madel O'Neil of Fairfield County. Madel is escorted by Ashley Kemmerer, is that right? Oh, I got it, from Fairfield County Job and Family members. Madel O'Neil was nominated by Kathleen Bush. One of the greatest sources of happiness in her life is to do something for others. Madel currently serves as president of Stargazer Charities, Inc. That's an organization that helps military veterans and their families, as well as other nonprofits in Greater Columbus. Madel is the first and only member to lead Stargazer Charities' major fundraising, which helps military veterans with mental health counseling, food, clothing, housing, and job training and job placement. She also coordinates an event called Suits for Heroes. It provides a new suit, shirts, ties, and shoes to help current military and veterans with job interviews. In 2017, she organized and held the first ever Christmas in November for military children. She acquired, on her own, 7,500 toys, which were brought in for Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps children. Congratulations, Mrs. O'Neil. And Ashley?
Hi, I'm honored and it's a pleasure to be here on behalf of the Fairfield County Commissioners as their representative on the COAAA Advisory Council. I just met Madel today, but it's been a pleasure talking to her. Her story is inspirational to me. As a worker at Fairfield County Job and Family Services who works in our older adult long-term care unit, I see every day the issues and problems that older adults face today with not only sheltering and food, but also just their mental and medical health that they don't usually have. I could actually stay here all day listing all the different things that Madel has volunteered for in organizations, events, and different things that she's contributed to over the years, which actually would take hours, maybe days to list, so I'll only highlight a few. Madel not only volunteers and helps military veterans find food and clothing and mental health and medical issues, she also supports their families while they're deployed. She actually helps out their spouses and their families while they're going through that transition, so that way they know what to expect and have that support system while they're going through that situation. In addition, she also is the lead of a quilting group that has donated thousands of blankets to local hospitals and to help them with their needs. And she also has contributed toys, blankets, and different entities to Fairfield County Job and Family Services for our Child Protective Services. On behalf of the Fairfield County County Commissioners, it's my pleasure and honor to present Madel O'Neil with a certificate of special recognition in honor of her 2019 COAAA Hall of Fame inductee.
They said that I have 45 minutes to talk to y'all, right? You know, I really enjoy volunteering. I really enjoy helping our military. When I see, a young wife, husband is deployed and they're going through a hard time and they're looking for help, and it's like, why not me? We can help out. But without the support of my family, especially my husband, Andy O'Neil over there, I would not be able to do half of what I do. Going to St. Louis, Missouri, he driving with me, paying for all of our expenses to bring back 7,500 toys for our military children. It was an amazing trip. I had fun, but he also takes care of all the financial things that we do. My dear friends, Kathy, Carolyn, Karen, thank you for your support. We have fun quilting, and it means the world to me that you are here. And if anybody ever needs anything, I can help out. More than happy to do so. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. Next, we have Jack and Carolyn DeWeese of Fayette County, escorted by Fayette County Commissioner Tony Anderson. Jack and Carolyn were nominated by the Fayette County Commissioners. Jack and Carolyn DeWeese have lived in Fayette County their entire lives. Jack served on the board of the Fayette County Commissioners for 18 years. Carolyn is a retired teacher after 31 years from the Miami Trace Local School District in Washington Courthouse. In 2003, she was chosen as Ohio's favorite teacher by the Ohio Federation of Republican Women and was runner-up in the national competition. Most days, Jack and Carolyn are busy with charitable or volunteer work involving many community organizations and their church, including supporting the local food pantry with donations or Jack helping with unloading deliveries. They've delivered food for the local Commission on Aging Meals on Wheels program during snow emergencies. They prepare food for those in need and send scores of cards, either for get well wishes, sympathy, or special occasions. Jack sometimes mows lawns for those in need. Please join me in congratulating Mr. and Mrs. DeWeese. And Commissioner?
Thank you. What a wonderful opportunity for me to be able to do this with Jack and Carolyn. 18 years, I have not been a commissioner 18 years. I've been there several years with Jack. And we've got all kinds of stories about each other, and we both agreed that we're not going to tell them. And I don't know exactly what Carolyn will say, but it's been a wonderful experience for us to have Jack and Carolyn in Fayette County with us. Jack and Carolyn just live and thrive from volunteering. It's not just being a teacher. It hasn't just been being a township trustee or a commissioner. It's been the lifeblood of the community that they continue to bring into the areas where they serve and work and live. Colleen, the bio you read doesn't touch on half of it, and I would forget the other half of it. But it's wonderful to get to be the commissioner, the chairman this year. But this is truly on behalf of Commissioner Dan Dean and Jim Garland, myself, to be able to present inductees into the Central Ohio Area Agency for Senior Citizens, our friends from Fayette County, Jack and Carolyn DeWeese.
I want to thank the CO AAA for this wonderful honor, and to our wonderful friends and family who came here to accompany us today. Thank you so much.
I think Carolyn said a lot of it, but I have one short story. I think 17 or 18 years ago, I was the person doing what Mr. Anderson was doing. And I thought, well, this will be a piece of cake. I looked at the program and I said, I won't have to remember anything. I can just give it all out. Colleen went first. I didn't have anything to say, and I said, oh, crap.
Sure, blame me for your problems. Everybody else blames the media. Congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. DeWeese. Gary Sams of Franklin County is escorted by Keena Smith, Deputy County Administrator for Franklin County Commissioners. Gary Sams was nominated by Employment for Seniors. Gary serves as the Volunteer Network Administrator for Employment for Seniors, or EFS. His outstanding technological skills have helped the agency lower its costs, better utilize its resources, and Gary developed the Job Match system that provides thousands of employment referrals each year to job seekers. EFS describes Gary as being the linchpin of its technology. operations, and that helps seniors in their employment search who are often not provided fair and equal access to the job market because of technology limitations. Gary updated the EFS network server twice, increased security, updated hardware and software, as well as upgraded the office workstations. How do you know how to do all this stuff? I am the most technologically challenged person in the newsroom, so I'm very jealous. He expanded services to 24 hours a day, and that allows clients to better access the job list. Gary also developed an EFS website with more resources, saving the agency thousands of development dollars. So Gary, congratulations and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Colleen. Greetings, everybody. I'm so proud, and it's such a pleasure to bring you greetings on behalf of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners, Commissioner President Marilyn Brown, Commissioner John O'Grady, and Commissioner Kevin Boyce. You know, I was very interested. I just, I think this lady here, I just had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Sams today, but I think what he does is so important, the technology, being involved in technology and employment for seniors. We know that our seniors are more active than ever, and that second act is critical to what they are doing and staying active. At Franklin County, we are dedicated to having our seniors be able to remain at home and age safely at home, and oftentimes having gainful employment and remaining productive and contributing to their communities is super important to them. So what you do is so meaningful. Colleen, there were some numbers that were in his bio that I wanted to share. I think you've been able to register 9,500 people to the employment services, and also that you have helped 1,500 job seekers find employment. At Franklin County, we consider our seniors to be our community treasures, and you are definitely one of them. We thank you for your service, and congratulations on being inducted.
Years ago, I lived in Canton, Ohio, home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and each year I would see a group of retired football players and coaches and owners getting inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Little did I realize at the time that sometime in the future I would be getting inducted into a Hall of Fame myself. Not the same Hall of Fame, but one just as important, if not more so. Along the roads that I've traveled getting to this point have involved lots and lots of volunteering for organizations like Employment for Seniors, the Westerville Area Resource Ministry, and my church, the Bethel International United Methodist Church, all of which have representatives here today helping me to get the support and helping me to celebrate this honor. So along the way, I found out that volunteering can be fun. If you haven't tried it, I recommend it. And so here I am getting the honor of being inducted into the Seniors Hall of Fame for having fun. Go figure. So I'd like to thank Carol Ventresca for the nomination and for the staff of COAAA for selecting me for this honor. And I'd like to thank all the people who are here, friends and family, to help support and help me to celebrate this occasion. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you so much. And we're going to have Kina stay on stage because up next, also of Franklin County, are Karen and Ralph Watts. Ralph and Karen were nominated by Tender Nursing Care. Karen and Ralph Watts have helped other families with special needs children through their work as foster parents. They have been blessed with 4 birth children. Are you ready? 14 adopted children, 45 foster children, and 22 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. Yeah. Through the years, they have taken in children who have been on monitors, on feeding tubes, in full body casts, and in wheelchairs. Each child who came to them became part of the family filled with love and laughter. These children thrived in what was their first loving and supporting family. Whenever possible, they would help guide the parents and model good parenting skills in the hopes that they would be able to return to their parental homes. Both have also served on various boards at Nationwide Children's Hospital, advocating for parents' rights. Please join me in congratulating Mr. and Mrs. Watts.
After I read those numbers as well, my mouth was open, and I was like, wow, what amazing people. We thank you for your service. I think Councilmember Brown talked about the continuum of life, and so as seniors and community treasurers, that you are so instrumental in providing service and care to those other community treasures, our babies and children. As foster parents, we know what a sacrifice you make to do that. I think that the ages ranged from 14 to 45, and so that is amazing, and we just truly want to thank you for your service. There is not much that we can say to you, I'm sure, that hasn't been said through the years, but we do want to add our thanks to everything that you do. So thank you so much, and congratulations.
We've done that kind of thing all our lives, back and forth like that. I want to apologize for my eldest daughter over here, who's been trying to steal the limelight from everybody today. But I would say to you, when we first went to pick her up down in southern Texas in an institution, the psychiatrist at that institution said, "Don't take her. She will never give love or respond to love." And there's an example of what happens when you just reach out and love and care.
That is just the opposite of my marriage. My husband can't get a word in, as hard as he tries. Thank you both for being with us. And Keena, I think you're up for the next one as well. Are you not? We have next Dr. John O'Handley, nominated by Chin Yin Shi. Dr. O'Handley provides medical care to the homeless and individuals from various cultural backgrounds. He served as the volunteer medical director for the Asian Health Initiative Free Clinic, a project at The Ohio State University that seeks to improve the health of medically underserved Asian population by providing appropriate cultural and linguistic services. Dr. O'Handley, during his tenure at the Asian Health Initiative, was able to treat individuals from diverse backgrounds because of his ability to learn different languages and establish a trusting and comfortable environment. Dr. O'Handley currently serves as the medical director at Mount Carmel Health System Community Outreach, a program that provides care to underserved people who do not have access to health care. In his role, he provides free medical care to the homeless and other underserved populations on a mobile medical coach that goes to 10 different sites around Columbus during the week. Unfortunately, Dr. O'Handley was not able to join us today because he had a prior medical commitment, but Keena Smith is accepting on his behalf. Keena?
Thank you so much. As Colleen said, Dr. O'Hanley could not be here with us today, but I hope that you will join me and I'm sure his family and friends in a round of applause and congratulating him on receiving this award and his induction into the Ohio Senior Citizen Hall of Fame. Thank you so much.
Albert Skip Salome is escorted by Licking County Commissioner Rick Black. Skip was nominated by Carol Wachtel. Whether it's serving food from one of his many restaurants or his volunteerism for several causes and organizations, Skip has tirelessly served his community. He became the owner and operator of 2 Frisch's Big Boy restaurants and 7 Lee's famous recipe chicken stores here in Central Ohio. The drive to serve others carried over into volunteering. For the past 10 years, Skip and his family have provided meals free to those in need. He and his family also provide food and clothing to about 100 to 130 people in the Newark Square the last Wednesday of each month. Skip has been chairman of the All-American Quarter Horse Congress for the last 36 years, and he was instrumental in the success of the organization, and the Congress has grown to be the 3rd largest of any convention in the United States. Big financial impact on Central Ohio. So congratulations to Skip.
Skip, I've known you for about 40 years. He goes about his work very quietly, very humbly. The information here is just a small amount of what he has given back to Licking County. If we had a list of all his contributions to agencies, groups, individuals, it would stretch past the Licking County line, probably to Muskingum County. And he's done this out of the goodness of his heart. It's a family affair. His family supports him. They continue to do work in Licking County. Carol does fabulous artwork working on, I just learned, of the new Boys and Girls Center. And Skip's going to be cooking for that as well. He kids me about still practicing for playing the organ, and I asked him if he'd learned to cook yet. So we have this running battle going back and forth. But it's been a pleasure to know you these years, Skip, and thank you so much for everything you've done for the community.
Thank you. I got to see my wife and 3 children. Should be getting part of this. Excuse me, part of this award, and I can assure you, when I go to the box, they'll be right behind her taking care of things. We give back, and probably one of our biggest givers indoor told me one day, he said, you know, Skip, if you take care of your community will take care of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to Skip. Fred and Donna Reeder of Madison County are escorted by Madison County Commissioner David Hunter. Fred and Donna were nominated by Life Care Alliance. They share their vitality and talent through heartfelt service to their community. Since retirement, the Reeders have volunteered with Life Care Alliance's Meals on Wheels program in London. They visited homebound clients to deliver hot, nutritious meals, as well as provide basic wellness checks. The Reeders have dedicated more than 700 hours of their time to Meals on Wheels. Through their work, the Reeders have developed positive relationships with people all along their route. They also volunteer at Madison Health, the hospital in London, where they donate their time at the front desk, answering phones, helping with registration, and directing patients and families to the correct locations. Fred and Donna are retired teachers. They have been married for 54 years. Congratulations on your induction.
I feel this is a great honor to be able to represent my county and come up here and talk about some of our citizens in Madison County. And if you go through the booklet and read what their accomplishments are, there's so many things they've done past that, and it's amazing to me. But when I got the chance to come up here and talk about these people today, I was really thrilled because, you know, a lot of times commissioners, they talk about people, they don't really get to know them too well until they get to present, and they'll call a couple days in advance and talk to them and find out about them. These people were involved in my school district, my high school alma mater, both of them. And they've got over 40 years of teaching, and as Colleen said, they were married 54 years ago. Well, shortly after that marriage, West Virginia's loss became Ohio's greatest gain, in my opinion, or one of them. And then it was in around the mid-'80s, Madison County was honored to have these two come up, and they started teaching at Madison Plains. They both have over 40 years of experience up here. And the reason I'm touched by this, this young lady was actually teaching when I was on the school board out there for 11 years. She was out there, and we went through some hard times and some good times, and if it wasn't for people like this and some of the other teachers we have in the audience out here right now, Madison Plains might have had not come out quite as good as they are right now. And we're very proud of that school, very proud of the things they did. And one last thing I want to bring up about these two. These are two of the most patriotic individuals I know. Fred spent 4 years in the Marine Corps, protecting our country. And Donna, besides the stuff they do at church and all this other stuff, she was elected out at Madison Plains as the most patriotic teacher out there. And I told her the other day, I hated going to the last day of school at Madison Rural, because every time you go up there, when our 5th graders would be promoted into the 6th grade and go to the junior high, she'd put on a presentation, work with those kids, as all the other teachers did, but she taught them to sing that the song, Proud to Be an American. So every day, every time we went up there, I couldn't hardly take it. I'd get to bawling and crying, and I blame this lady for that. I always thought it was pretty tough until she started doing that, but we are very honored to have them in Madison County.
Thank you for the kind comments. They said a few words, so I'll keep it to a few words. I'm kind of a sentimental type person, and so the thing that I enjoy most about this event is that it reflects to me the background and history of people with whom I've been associated with. They are the reason that I worked hard. I wanted to leave an example for others and give back for all the good things that have happened to me in my life. So to the association here, my thanks. To my family and friends who came today and passed up a lot of other opportunities to do some things, and they came to honor us. Again, that's the reason why I'm feeling very proud today. Thank you all very much, and congratulations to all of the inductees.
I'm just very honored and humbled to be here today, and I have never been in the Hall of Fame, so this is a wonderful experience for all of us. And I'm so happy to serve other people. We have wonderful clients on Meals on Wheels and the hospital. We enjoy every minute working with other people. It has been part of our life forever, so thank you.
Congratulations, and congratulations on being married that long. I'm going to hit 40 years married next month. But my husband still introduces to me as, this is Colleen, my first wife. I'd like to know when the second one's coming along, and I hope she does laundry. Up next is Nelson Robert Embrey II of Pickaway County, escorted by County Commissioner Brian Stewart. Nelson was nominated by the county commissioners. For more than 50 years, Nelson has devoted his time to many local committees and civic organizations in Pickaway County. He moved to Circleville in 1964 with plans for him and his sister to start WNRE-FM and adding AM station several years later. The station was rewarded for its excellence in broadcasting by being the recipient of the American Bar Association Silver Gavel Award for news reporting on an environmental issue. His broadcasting career allowed him to participate in many community activities and leadership roles, including but not limited to serving on development groups under the Pickaway County Commissioners, serving as 4-H Advisory Board and Club Advisor, and serving as the past president of the Pickaway Area Chamber of Commerce. Nelson is also very active in his church, where he serves as a trustee, a deacon, and an elder on session. Please join me in congratulating Nelson Embrey.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today. I'm Brian Stewart. I'm one of our county commissioners on behalf of my two partners, Jay Whipple and Champ Henson. We were a little extra privileged to have the opportunity to have one of our nominees be inducted this year. And, you know, what I think motivated that is, you know, we started looking around Pickaway County and we said there's a lot of great things happening, a lot of great organizations. And one constant you would see across all those things is they all have Nelson Embrey involved. You know, whether it's in private business, in the church, in elected office, or in charity, Nelson is like a lot of the inductees today where, you know, I've joked before that one of the many reasons Nelson is a role model to me is he's enjoyed being retired more than any man I've ever met. And, but I think like a lot of these, all of the inductees, Nelson has been retired in name only. Nelson has never viewed retirement as an excuse to do less. He has always used it as an opportunity to do more. And so congratulations, Mary. Many members of Nelson's family are here today, and I know that they're as proud of him as we are. And I would say this as well, just on a personal note. I have known Nelson for about 10 years now, and he's been a good friend and a mentor. When I was a brand new, we served together on Asheville Council. When I was a brand new council member, the most welcoming person was Nelson. He didn't have to do that. Nelson has always invested in younger generations, as you see in your program, and he walks the walk in addition to talking the talk. I will never forget, you know, where I was and where we were at and what we were eating when Nelson was the first person ever who said, you know, you'd be a pretty good county commissioner, I think. And I didn't believe that in myself until I heard it from somebody that I respected as much as Nelson Embrey. And so there's that saying that you know, a lot of people won't get the opportunity to tell people that mean a lot to them how much they've meant to them when they should. I think even fewer people have the opportunity to do so in front of a room full of 100 people. So I'm taking the opportunity, Nelson. It has been a privilege and a blessing to have you as a mentor, and I'm very happy that you're my friend. And on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, we were in session yesterday and voted to make today, May 15, 2019, as Nelson R. Embrey, the second day in Pickaway County.
Well, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for this nomination. I was always wondering, being a broadcaster, you know, you see that an acronym there for the COAAA, and now we know why they call it the COAAA, because it's awful hard to get those A's in the right order when you're trying to say that. I want to thank the Pickaway County Commissioners for the nomination. Not that I have it in, as you can tell from what Brian just said, but Champ Henson lives across the creek. Jay Whipple's mother is my next door neighbor. And then, of course, I encourage Brian to become a county commissioner. So heartfelt thanks there. Have family members here. My wife, Mary, of 42 years, and she and my Savior, Jesus Christ, have kept me on the straight and narrow path all of these years. My son, Nelson, he is number 3. I have a grandson who is number 4. And then my daughter, Elizabeth, is here. My sister, Honor, and her daughter, my niece, Lori, are here. And we have a lot of church friends, and a lot of former recipients are good friends of mine. And it's just, you know, a pleasure to be here. We've talked about, you know, service to the community and everything. And that's one thing I learned after my broadcasting career ended, when some two guys, Mark Litton and Rob Casagrande, better known as Rob Case, the Channel 4 helicopter pilot, bought WNRE radio. They had a brilliant idea, and it worked well for them for a while. And that's very interesting. Just a little history. Congratulations to Doug Pricer and WCLT. Doug has been a good friend for years. Mary, my wife, worked there in sales for about 10 years, so good association there. And it's just amazing how your life intermingles with people you know and back and forth. And one of the things, Colleen, our paths crossed years ago. You got your law degree the same day that my daughter Elizabeth and her husband Rusty graduated from Capital University. And so I was saying before, you retire, and I always advise people, well, take a little time, figure out what you want to do. But now Mary and I joke all the time that when somebody wants to do something with us, we have to check the calendar, because most every day is filled with some activity. Maybe 25% is doctor's appointments, but the other is volunteer work in the community, and you're just never too old to volunteer and to help some other people in your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you and congratulations. Next, we have Donald Werling of Union County, escorted by County Commissioner Christian Schmenk. Donald was nominated by the Union County Senior Services. Don Werling is deeply committed to serving Union County older adults by offering his ingenuity in home modifications. He builds and installs hand railings, grab bars, gates, step modifications, porches, and ramps. These modifications help senior citizens live safely and remain in their homes longer. If an individual is unable to pay for a project, Don will find a way to help them, and he has provided services such as home entrance modifications and grab bars at no cost to the individual. Don also works in conjunction with the local United Way's annual event, Community Care Day, to complete home improvement projects. He also leads a group of volunteers who come from many different organizations to help individuals in need. Please join me in congratulating Donald Werling.
Thank you, Colleen. Good afternoon. My name is Chris Schmenk. I am a brand new Union County Commissioner, just took office in January. And one thing I quickly realized and have realized as a commissioner, what keeps our community strong are the volunteers, right? And Dawn is just a great, great example of that. I got here a little late today because I had a prior event I had to be at, and it was really fun to pull up and see the St. John's Lutheran Church bus outside. Yeah. All of you have family here today, supporters, friends, and that just is such, I think, a concrete example of what you have given to our communities and how good it makes the rest of us feel. The prior gentleman spoke about his church activity, and when I think about Don, I kind of think about Jesus in action. He's a man who works with his hands, helps others in need, helps particularly other seniors to try to keep their homes safe, to keep them to be able to stay in their homes. And that is such a good thing that we just can't thank Don enough about. In Union County, our Community Care Day is a big event. We have employers providing employees, and Don has been really, really active in that. So I will read, my County Board of Commissioners also did a proclamation and a resolution recognizing Don. I'll just read a little bit from it. Whereas Don Werling is a resident of Union County and is committed to serving Union County seniors with his ingenuity in home modifications. And whereas Don created the Loving in Actions and in Truth volunteer group, a branch of the mission outreach of St. John's Lutheran Church. And in 2018, as we heard from Barbara Taylor of Jim Jordan's office earlier, he led that group on 64 projects throughout Union County. He also collaborated with the Union County Senior Services and our local fire departments. Don is often sought out through word of mouth. You know how if you need help, you don't know who to ask sometimes, and people refer you to Don because he goes into seniors' home. He takes care of getting permits through our county permitting office. He handles all of the projects and the various components that are needed to finish them. And he builds and installs all of the things within a home that make it safe, make it easy for those seniors to stay there. And because of that dedication and selflessness, he joins the rest of you today in being inducted into the Central Ohio Agency on Aging Hall of Fame. So therefore, my County Board of Commissioners resolved that we thank Donald Werling for his dedications in helping seniors live safely and longer in their own homes. We congratulate Donald on his 2019 induction into this Hall of Fame, and similar to Pickaway County, we proclaimed May 15th to be Donald Werling Day in Union County. Thank you, Donald, for all you do for us.
A little difficult. I feel very, very humbled. I feel very honored to be a part of a very, very strong group that God has provided. He has led us to serve one another. And with that, I am honored and I'm pleased. I'm thankful for my wife of 61 years to be behind, right alongside of me. Excuse me. But I get too emotional when I get before a group that has done everything that they have done. And then I am very thankful for you, for being here, thankful for your support. If I didn't have the support from our church group and the Heavenly Father, I wouldn't be able to do what I am. So thank you so much, and God bless you.
Years. I think that's the record in the room, isn't it? And you've been married longer than that? Congratulations to you again. And really, congratulations today to all of our inductees. You are all doing amazing. You are all doing God's work, and we appreciate what you are doing to make Central Ohio the community that it is. And keep doing it. Keep working. You're inspirational. Cindy Farson is going to come out with some final closing words, and I thank you today for your kind attention.
First, I want to add my thanks to your applause for Colleen Marshall. She makes this so special for everyone and does such a wonderful job. So, Colleen, we really appreciate it. Our inductees today will be getting the portraits of themselves that are displayed in the reception area, and thank goodness for Picture Day, because it gives me a chance to get to know more about these great people that we've met today. Each member is wearing a Hall of Fame pin today, and of course, all their names will be on a 2019 plaque that will hang with the others on the display case here at the Janus Center. So be sure and stop and see that on the way out to the left of the exit. I want to thank Steve Senefani, Tamara James, and Lynn Dobb from our COAAA staff who've worked very hard putting the event together. I know they've tried their best to make this a great day for our inductees and guests. And thanks to our COAAA volunteers and Columbus Rec and Park staff that are here today. And all of you that participate in community events know how important sponsors are. So I want to thank ours, Medigold for its sponsorship of the programs, Klossman Catering for the entertainment, Life Care Alliance for the beverage station, National Church Residences for the dessert, Kroger for the floral centerpieces, and the Senior Times as a media sponsor, Simply Easy for the lovely flowers here on the stage. I have a feeling these are going to the participants and not to our agency. They are very nice. And Dave Paul there with the camera, I want to thank him. Dave Paul is the president of the Recreation and Parks Commission. He's also on our advisory council, but he spends his extra time actually volunteering to photograph events, and he's always here. So thank you, Dave. He's an excellent photographer, so lucky us. So please join us for the reception right outside of the doors and enjoy the piano performance by Rick Soriano. And be sure and check out the arts festival that's also surrounding us today. So thank you so much for being here today. You've made it a great day for our inductees, I know, and we're just happy to have you. So thanks and have a great day.